John March, and welcome to Guitar Outside the Box. This is the first in a series of teaser lessons, just quick introductions to some different ideas about how you can look at the instrument. In fact, that's what we're going to talk about today, is a new way or different ways of looking at the guitar so that you can find more creative approaches to learning, arranging, soloing, and just sort of being able to see the instrument in a different way freshens up your playing. So there's a lot of information that you can get to about geography and geometry. In other words, where I am and what shape I'm in. So this chord, G major, is also this chord, C major. So I've transposed a chord, a harmonic shape, by being in two different places with the same physical geometry. So the shape has a shape. So the root, the fifth, the root, the third, the fifth, and the root. And I'm going to move that same relationship to there. That's one perspective. I can also stay in the same position, having learned some physical shapes. That's a G shape, and then that's a C shape. And I'm voice leading by moving few voices. So again, geography and geometry. The shape is dictated, the sound is dictated by where I am and what the shape is that I'm physically playing. But it's really important to note that scales and chords are systems of organization. It's not the geography or the geometry that determines the sound as much as it is as knowing how to choose which notes you want to organize. If I choose a G major scale, I know that the notes I want to play are G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. That's a G major scale because in Western harmony we organize by intervallic distance. So that in a major scale, the first intervallic distance is a whole tone, and then another whole tone, and then a half step, and then a whole tone, and then a whole tone, and then another whole tone, and then a half step. That makes a G major scale, and that organization of notes is what makes that quality of a scale. So in this position, it's very commonly taught to go and that's a G major scale. But a G major scale isn't just that configuration of notes in that shape, in that position. A G major scale is the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So I have a whole range of options that had nothing, and I've never played that particular sequence in that order before. It just happens to be what I arrived at moving those notes. So what I'd like to talk about is the idea of seeing the guitar differently by simply looking at it as not one 6-stringed instrument, okay, but as 6 1-stringed instruments. In other words, each one of these is a voice: my E string, my A string, my D string, my G string, my B string, and my E string are voices. And I'm choosing at any given moment to create a voicing. That's a G major scale, the third, the root, and the fifth. I'm playing the third on the 7th fret of the E string, I'm playing the root on the 5th fret of the D string, and I'm playing the 5th on the 3rd fret of the B string. That's the same as if I played. So even just those two notes, that B can be moved. And that gives me a different way of seeing the instrument. And when I'm playing melody, so I have access to melodies, and I know those are really simple melodies, but I have access to melodies on one string that doesn't restrict me to a physical shape or a pattern, but is actually looking at how the notes register across the neck. So in order to do this, to see the guitar as 6 1-stringed instruments, one of the most useful exercises that I teach my students is neck mapping. And that's starting with imagining that you took a piano and you took all the white keys on the piano, which are the natural notes, and you mapped out where they were on the neck across all 6 strings. And I really encourage you to do this by hand on a piece of paper. Download a graphic of a neck and just download that particular blank neck and then draw it with your hand and write the names of the notes in. So for example, on the low E string, I would write low E, and then an F, and then a G, and then an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, an F, a G, an A, a B, a C, and a D. On an electric guitar, I can get up that high. And then on the A string, similarly, I would write an A, and then a B, and then a C, and then a D, and then an E, F, G, A, etc., etc., etc. Once you have that map, you'll start to see that the entire neck, as the white keys on the piano, has a certain flavor. And what you can start to do over time is do that in all 12 keys, and even in enharmonic keys. So you could do it in D sharp, and you could also do it in E flat. And you'll start to see the guitar differently, and you'll start to see guitar chord shapes and scales differently. So this is the first lesson. Let's start thinking about the guitar as a different idea. That it's not this object that has a certain geography and a certain geometry that requires you to do certain things. Those are valuable tools. Knowing that this is a C chord is a valuable tool. Knowing this is an F chord is a valuable tool. Knowing that I can move this F chord to A, to D flat, to E is useful for certain things. As you want to get more creative and explorative, those things change. Okay? So this is your first introduction. We'll be talking a lot more about it in the series. If you thought this was interesting, click on the email link below to join the series. And if you want to know more about what I do, you can go to zenguitarguy.com, which is at the link at the end. And if you want to hear CDs about what I've been doing, you're welcome to go to Bandcamp Zen Guitar Guy. And I'll look forward to hearing your feedback. And again, this is going to be an interactive series. So if you have questions about what I'm talking about, please post below. Okay? Thanks for your time. Guitar Outside the Box. I'll look forward to hearing from you. This is John March.